of Bombay West, I welcome Sadhu Gnanvatsalji and request you to deliver your address, Heal Your Mind Post-Corona. Over to you, Swami.
श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवान की जय, अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज की जय, राधा कृष्ण देव की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज की जय, महंत स्वामी महाराज की जय, प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सव की जय। With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagavan Swami Narayan and my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Pragat Guru Hari, Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj, my heartiest Namaskar, good evening, and Jai Swaminarayan to all the Rotarians. And it is always nice and a pleasure to meet the Rotarians. And I could say with all pride today that this could be, that is today's talk could be more than in numbers, 200th talk, Rotary talk of my career. So on n number of occasions, I've been with the Rotarians and felt the comfort of their humble selves. Very closely, I've seen the social activities done by the Rotarians very selflessly, which has been the source of inspiration for many. And I've also observed that a Rotarian basically has an inner band of emotions and thought processes to help the society selflessly. And on more than 200 occasions that I've been with the Rotarians, I've heard of different kinds of social projects, very creative ones coming up from different clubs and districts. So first of all, I must congratulate you all for being a part of such a grand institute like Rotary International. And definitely, I must appreciate your selfless efforts for the society. Now coming to the point today, the topic that has been shared with me for the talk today is healing the mind post-corona. A very important saying that we have learned from early childhood, that if you focus on the heart, you will continue to suffer. But if you focus on the lesson, you continue to grow. So in times of this corona, if you constantly focus on the hurt, you will continue to suffer. But if you concentrate and focus on the lessons that we have learned, you will continue to grow. So chapter 1 in healing the mind during and post-corona, we are not yet into post-corona. We are in the midst of corona. So the healing process starts with this basic attitude that I will always focus on the lessons that I've learned. I will never focus, concentrate, and give my mind away to the hurts that I've suffered. See, everybody has suffered. Everybody has been hurt in some or the other way. Financially, emotionally, even physically, if at all got some infection, whatever. So the first attitude is to focus on the lessons that we have. Now, what are those lessons that we want to concentrate on so that we can heal our minds during the times of such pandemic that is hurting our thought processes and emotions? The first important lesson that we all learn is that I need to change my habits, my lifestyle. I need to improve a bit. I need to adjust a bit If I don't take care of myself, nobody's going to take care of me. So I am the only one to take care of myself. This is the first lesson that we have learned from COVID-19. And we need to learn this lesson well so as to heal our minds better and quicker. Where I need to change myself so that I can better take care of myself, so that I can become a better family man, so that I can become a better professional. Where I need to change myself and be more careful. And there is always a prospect of change. There is always an avenue where you can create a small change so that you become a better person, not just for yourself, but for your surrounding. Sharing a very inspiring incident with you. In 1986, when you might have visited the Swami Gnanvatsalji at Gandhinagar in Gujarat or in Delhi, while the construction work coming up of Akshardham at Gandhinagar was in full swing, our present Guru Hari Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj and a group of saints, they decided to visit various museums all over the world and meet the curators to discuss with them the presentation ways in such a huge monument. And how can people get more impacted by the thoughts and emotions that we present? So they were on a world tour. As part of that, they visited Germany, visited a few museums, and then happened to visit Stuttgart, the manufacturing unit of Mercedes-Benz, the ultra luxurious car. They were the official guests, so a very good ranking officer as a PR guide showed them various aspects of the manufacturing unit. They were all impressed because they were, as a manufacturing unit, constantly on the drive that we want to improve ourselves, change for the better. After the guided tour, when they were back sitting in the reception, one of our saints, he was just having a good communication with the PR guide, and the PR guide said, see, we have excellent facilities here, and we are constantly improving upon our models. And the latest one carries a special feature that if at all an accident occurs, a balloon comes up between the steering and the driver's chest so that the driver doesn't lose his life. At that time, this was a new technology. Now we find in many cars, but this was something very new. So all were impressed. And then the PR guide said, still we feel that we can make 90% change in this so that we can give the best facilities and the best comfort and the best experience to the driver and the passengers. Our saint very politely, he asked the PR guide and that the officer that, sir, we accept and we know that we need to constantly change, make a positive change in our products so that humans feel a better experience. But don't you think that we need to have we can make changes in a human being as well? Where do we need to make more change? In the car or the driver? Who creates the accident? He said, of course, the car doesn't create the accident. It's the driver who creates the accident. Our saint said that we need to make a small change in the driver. He should be taught certain values, certain disciplines, that he doesn't get distracted in radio listening. He doesn't get distracted by some happenings of his past. He doesn't get attracted towards on both the sides of the road by some natural scenery of some happenings. He doesn't drink and drive. So we need to make more change in the driver. And our saints said that you make the change in the car, which is necessary, because as a human being, we must always strive for better products. But we are constantly, as saints, trying to improve human beings. So when you change yourself, when you change yourself for the better, when you want to want to make a small change in yourself, you better fit into the ecosystem that you live in. So this is the first lesson that we need, because all of us during COVID-19 lockdown, we stayed home and in close contact with our family members 24/7 for about 60, 70, 80, 90 days. And so we have come to know what are the small habit changes, what are the small emotion expression changes, what are the small attitude changes that I need to make to become a better family man. When you started working from home, WFH, work from home, you also came to know by introspection where you can put your energy better, which are the areas and avenues which you need to work better. How can you be more productive? Where you used to lose your time and energy, everything. So each and every person in this COVID-19 has come to know that small change that he needs to make to become a better human being and a better professional. So when you will focus on this change making, you will heal your mind. How? That this COVID-19 is in some way a blessing to me, that I could make a small positive change. First, I could identify a small positive change that I need to make. For example, one of my friends who is a very high-ranking executive with a salary of about 70 lakhs per annum in an e-commerce business in Bangalore, he said that, Swamiji, I've decided to make a small positive change, that from today, even when I'm out, that is when I have my work days and I'm going to office after COVID-19, but still I will read out at least 10 minutes stories to my children in the evening before they go to bed, after they finish their homework. That bonding that I experienced, that sweetness that I experienced in the relationship with my children, it was an amazing experience during this COVID-19. And that 10 minutes with my children in the evening, storytelling, I could see the expressions on their faces, the exclamations, the surprise on their faces, sometimes innocent laughter on their faces. I think all of you are getting what I'm talking. The innocent laughter on the children's face and the surprise expressions that they put on their faces when they go through the stages of that story. That was so much soothing. That was so much calm. That was so much of cooling down that I want to experience it every day. So anyhow, I'm going to rush back from office. I will keep up the schedules during the daytime, try to put in my best efforts in my working hours. But I want to get back to my family in the evening, to spend that 10-15 minutes with my little kids and enjoy that expressions on their face and their body language. That is really going to pull me down. That is really going to stress me. That is extract the stress out of me and calm me down. So this is how you can heal your mind. By clinging upon the lessons that you have learned during COVID-19. The first lesson is that a small change in my schedule, a small change in my attitudes, expressions, habits, so that I become a better person and enjoy relationships or work, whatever, because you enjoy two things in your life, relationship or work. So this is the first thing that you can heal your mind with, keeping that positive change with you as an experience, lifetime, and making it a habit so that you enjoy that happiness in your life. The second lesson that you learn from COVID-19, which can heal your mind, is acceptance of reality. And that reality is life is very short and uncertain. Accept that reality. Then you will heal your mind. Nobody is immortal. And to the extent that we have learned in COVID-19 is, even a 4-month-old baby has come out after catching coronavirus. That is fought coronavirus being victorious. Even a 104-year-old human being infected with coronavirus has come out of it. And on the other side, We have seen another picture that a 25, 30, 35 or a 40-year-old, a young, energetic, healthy, gym-going person has lost the battle to coronavirus, isn't it? We have seen both. Yes or no? You have seen both. So what does that teach you? Have you ever given a thought to it? The lesson that it has taught us is life is short and uncertain. So what do you do by that? By that acceptance of reality? That do what you love and love what you do. This is a very good healing process for your mind during Corona times. Do what you love. Make a list of things that you love to do. A hobby like reading or watering the plants or anything like that. And love what you are supposed to do. Start loving your job, because you are not going to find a different one quickly, a new one quickly. So life is short, life is uncertain, and make the maximum and the optimum use of time. And that is going to heal your mind. The third important lesson that we have learned is during COVID time that can heal your mind is become a prosperity thinker. Don't become a poverty thinker. A prosperity thinker always is optimistic. Yes, tomorrow the sun is going to shine out bright for me. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to do that activity which is going to be soothing for me and helping my family in some way. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to go out with full optimism that definitely I'm going to create a positive change at my workplace. Yes, tomorrow morning when I go to office, I'm going to greet all my colleagues with a very broad smile and infuse energy in the office and start a wonderful day at work. Yes, tomorrow morning I'm going to call up my that cousin or my that relative or my that friend who I'm not called up or connected since last many days. And yes, I'm going to feel that joy of reconnecting. Yes, tomorrow morning I'm going to start reading this book, which is going to help me energize myself every day. Yes, tomorrow morning I'm going to start a new physical activity, either a yoga asana or a jogging or a morning walk that is going to start my day wonderfully. So all such thoughts, they come to a prosperity thinker. And he's optimistic from the morning. And on the other hand, there are poverty thinkers. Well, nothing is happening. I tried my best. I tried it 3-4 times, but I'm not getting any result. Well, my friend, my that colleague, my that friend, he isn't keen on keeping good relations with me. Well, I started that book, but I read 5 pages of it, but it is boring. That makes you a poverty thinker. Make a choice in your life. When you make a good choice in your life, you stand a good chance for a great change in your life. So make a choice of becoming a prosperity thinker. There are 100 things that will make you a poverty thinker. On the other side, there are 1,000 things, if not realities, but optimistic. That if you think them again and again, it can make you a prosperity thinker. Our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who created this organization, the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha, the organization that I come from, is a socio-cultural religious organization spread worldwide. And the BAP is also, like Rotary International, Lions Club International, is a huge worldwide organization. We carry out huge projects, from de-addiction to ethical living and teaching lifestyles. Today, we have a presence in more than 60 countries. We are about 1,100 saints in the organization, and more than 750 of them are graduates, postgraduates, chartered accountants, doctors, and engineers. And more than 50 saints in the organization today are Harvard, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, Yale, or Keeling graduates, or institutes of such types. We do 162 different kinds of social, moral, cultural, environmental, medical activities. We have more than 1,300 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, Akshardham, Sanskar Kendras, Mandirs that we run worldwide. And we as saints are directly involved in the administration, in the management, in the HR of all these institutes. But I would tell Pramukh Swami Maharaj was always a prosperity thinker. He was never a poverty thinker. He was the president of this organization for 65 long years. And we all wanted him for more years to come. But he was always optimistic, always a positive believer in positivity, always a prosperity thinker. He never got bogged down by happenings and situations in his life. He never fell apart by failures or setbacks in his life. Always he used to think and tell us that always good is going to happen. Always something positive is bound to come up. We must keep our efforts, ethical efforts, with faith in God, keep doing the best from the resources that we have. So he being a positivity thinker, a prosperity thinker, he created 1,300 institutes. Imagine if your Rotary has to come up with a new clinic or a hospital, from land to fundraising to right kind of people to run the institute. It's a challenge. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, in his span of 65 years as president and 45 years as the guru of this organization, he erected and successfully run on charity basis more than 1,300 institutes. That means if you break down that into statistics, every 15th day, now listen this sentence of mine very carefully. Every 15th day, Pramukh Swami Maharaj purchased a land. He got that land legally cleared from local government authorities. Third, meetings conducted and what to come up with, that is what project to come up with in that on that land. Hospital, hostel, school or college, that decided upon. Architect designs the plan. Tenders floated. A tender passed. Funds raised. Construction work started. Construction completed. 3, 4, 5, 10 people required for honorary services and other staff, paid staff required to run the institute for the benefit of the society decided upon. Inauguration ceremony design. Inauguration ceremony performed. And the institute placed in the midst of society for selfless services. Every 15th day. For 45 years. Can you imagine the statistics, what I'm talking? This is mind-boggling figures. This you won't find in the life of any contemporary figure as we look upon this world. Every 15th day, that is every second week, from a land purchase to an institute set in the service of society for 45 continuous years without a break. Why? Why could he do this? Because he was always a prosperity thinker. He never had any thoughts of poverty. That is, he was never a poverty thinker in his life. So this makes a huge change and this heals your mind during the times of COVID-19. Be a prosperity thinker. Never think, oh my goodness, what will happen tomorrow morning? Always think, yes, tomorrow morning belongs to me. Are you getting me? Never think, again I'm repeating the sentence, never think, oh my God, what will happen tomorrow morning? No, always think, yes, tomorrow morning belongs to me. I am in charge of myself tomorrow morning. With this thought, you go to bed and see the energy that you wake up in the morning. So when you become a prosperity thinker, you heal your mind there. During such times of calamities, pandemics, that is of course widespread, but happenings in your personal life or family life, some setbacks, some failures in your professional life, still being a prosperity thinker. Because I tell you, you have only two choices over something happening with you. Either cry or laugh it out. Tell me if you have a third choice. You have only two choices. On the other hand, we learned the second lesson that life is short and uncertain. So you have only 70 years, 8 years upon this life, on an average, 5, 10 plus minus with the grace of God. Average 70 or 80 years. Already many of us have passed 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, isn't it? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 remains. So 25 or 30 years remain in your life, 25 or 30 years that remain in your life. Make a choice. Do you want to cry and live? Be sad and live? Remain depressed and live? Experience stress and live? Or you want to forget and forgive? Become a prosperity thinker. Take things as they come. Create a positive attitude. Yes, I will live and let people live. I will live to let people live. Indulge yourself in some selfless activity, forgetting your physical, mental, emotional pain, trying to help somebody. And you can laugh and smile in your life. So make a decision that will heal your mind during such times. I don't want to go to my funeral crying. I will go to the woods smiling and laughing. Isn't that a big choice? Isn't that a right choice? And isn't that the ultimate truth of life? Yes or no? Again, I repeat, you have 100 reasons to cry every morning. You have an ankle pain. You don't go good with your better half. Maybe. I just had a humor in between. Just a casual one. See, somebody sent me a WhatsApp that what is the difference between a lockup and a lockdown? Lockup is the one where you are in police custody, and lockdown is the one where you are in your wife's custody. And you know the second difference between lockup and lockdown? Lockup is bailable, lockdown is non-bailable. Just a casual one and just a lighter moment in between. What I mean to say that you have 100 reasons at home to cry. That I have an ankle pain, I don't go along well with my wife, my son is not obeying me. And I don't say they are wrong, they are right. But at the same time, you have tens and hundreds of reasons to laugh that I have a wonderful friend. I've got a beautiful neighbor. And I have the time for a morning walk every day. And I have the leisure of time to visit my friend in the weekend. I have the leisure as a Rotarian to attend my club meetings and involve in some selfless service of good project of my club. Every week, every 15 days, I meet like-minded people in my club. These are all good things that you always can think and cherish and bank upon to become a positive prosperity thinker, making it a habit, making it an attitude, and you can live a wonderful life. Sometimes I jokingly say, if you have an ankle pain, you can at least have a consolation that you don't have a shoulder pain. As simple as that, because somebody has a shoulder pain. You can always have a consolation that fine, I have only one part of my body has a pain, that is ankle. Rest all the body parts are fine. See, choice is yours what to think. If you constantly, as I said at the start of the talk, if you constantly focus on the hurt, you will continue to suffer. But if you decide and make a choice and make a habit thereafter to constantly focus on the lessons, on the gains, on the positivity, on the haves and not on the have-nots, then you will continue to grow. You will continue to prosper. You will continue to be happy. You will enjoy. So to heal your mind well, become a prosperity thinker and never become a poverty thinker. The fourth lesson that we learned from COVID-19 that can heal our minds well. Train your mind to become an opportunity seeker. What can I gain from the present moment? So always live in the present, never go in the past or the future. Past can be hurting, future can be stressful, but the present is yours. When the present is yours, you can become an opportunity seeker. Many of these people have become opportunity seekers during COVID-19, and they've come out with huge increase in their businesses. They've come out with some extraordinary things that have gained them name, fame, and money. You know, IIT Mandi students at IIT Mandi, they just thought over that there is a lack of masks. I'm talking of things 2.5, 3 months back. And quality masks that can reach out to the people who are downtrodden in the society and cannot afford N95 masks. So all of them staying in the hostel. They were locked down there. So like, you know, because of the lockdown, they cannot travel back to their homes and families. So they approached their professors and said that we are thinking that, can we make up a quality mask from waste material? See this basic thought. See, this is called an opportunity seeker. This can heal your mind of the tensions of business, of the tensions of professional or money gains. His professor said, yes, I will join you. I can guide you. The students, they came up together for meetings and discussions, and they finally decided that we would use thrown away waste water bottles, the mineral bottle that we drink, and just throw away the bottles. Can we make masks from them? At first, this looks a very rubbish, isn't it? And you know, all such great creative ideas, they were first rejected as rubbish. They collected these water bottles from the campus and around. They dissolved all this in certain kinds of solvents. Then they extracted a nano, non-woven mask from it, a material from it. That was not a mask, but a membrane, a nano, non-woven membrane from it. From that membrane, they developed the mask. You would be surprised to and feel proud about it and take the pride in what our young minds in India can do. They have made this nano, non-woven membrane mask, this IIT Mandi students of 2nd and 3rd year, which has the quality of an N95 mask and much dirt cheap than N95. And they're putting it into mass production. They might already have put. These are the news of 1.5 or 2 months back. See, so become an opportunity seeker. What can I do to help the situation, which can turn out to my advantage? You can turn out to the advantage of the people. You might have heard the story of a Tamil Nadu saloon owner in a small town besides Madurai. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat about like 15 days or 1 month back, he highlighted the person and the family. And that was like, he was running an ordinary saloon in a small town besides Madurai, and he had saved about like 5 lakh rupees because he wanted to give the best academics to his only daughter. She was studying in 9th or 10th standard. And the girl also had a dream of having wonderful academics in her life. But when they found that many migrant workers of Orissa and Uttar Pradesh, they are going back to their states, and they would have to have 3, 4, 5 days of journey by walking to the railway stations, and then after catching the railway, or maybe they have to spend half a day or 1 day at the railway station to get their turn into the train, and another 2 or 3 days back from Chennai to Orissa and Chennai to UP or Bihar. The girl, she came up with the idea that, Dad, let us use up this 5 lakh rupees that you have saved for me, for my academics, for my future studies, and use this to provide ready-made meals to the migrants who are just passing by in front of our houses. I cannot see the distress on their faces. I cannot see hungry children walking. And the family decided to do that. Other 4, 5 families in the neighborhood, they came together. The women folk, they came together to prepare the meals, and they would prepare about 400, 500 meals a day, and just hand over this prepared, ready-to-eat dishes to them. And the migrants were so happy. The smile on the faces of these migrants, the smile on the faces of young children, that was a big satisfaction of doing some selfless service, and that was an earning to them. And they spent the family all the 5 lakh they had. Of course, many other help from the neighborhood and many good Samaritans coming forward. And when the Prime Minister came to know about them, he personally made a call to the family, highlighted them in the Mann Ki Baat, and the incident touched the hearts of millions and echoed in the United Nations. And today you would be surprised to know and happy to know, and we can take a cue from them, that the United Nations has nominated this little girl just at the age of 15 or 16 as the United Nations ambassador for goodwill, for peace and help to poor. Now she would be touring all over the world and making speeches in big conferences and national, international seminars on behalf of the United Nations, being in a prestigious position as the United Nations Goodwill Ambassador. So what I mean to say is that become an opportunity seeker in the professional world also, like the IIT students, and in the social selfless service world also, that how can I help somewhere in the society? See, we as BAPS, we became an opportunity seeker in these times. You'll be surprised to know that we came up with packed, ready-to-eat hodgepodge, that is khichdi, as we call it in the traditional Gujarati or the Hindi language. The khichdi that we eat as meal in the evenings, in dinners, is a packed one, ready to eat. You can just cut and start eating. If you want to eat it warm or hot, you need to boil the whole packet before cutting it in hot water for about 5 minutes, and then you can cut and start eating. Once cut, you have to finish the meal. You have to finish the packet. But I tell you, with all the R&D done by our saints and some professionals, you come up with this packet. It can be preserved for 6 months. No additives, no preservatives. And we served to the frontline Corona warriors in Mumbai. This was done in Mumbai at the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir in Dadar. And we served it in thousands to frontline Corona warriors, like the policemen, like the doctors, like the nurses and the paramedical staff, like the ward boys, without any discrimination. And still today we are doing it, because we know that Mumbai is a city where there are many hotspots even today, and people are suffering. So we are doing it, and we have extended that services to many. You'll be surprised to know that BAPS from 34 service centers all over the world, we served more than 5 million meals in the first 2 months of coronavirus. That is in the month of March and April and half of May. And you'd be even surprised to know that just yesterday, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Uddhavji Thackeray, he virtually inaugurated a 600-bed hospital in South Mumbai, that is in the town. My very good friend and philanthropist and a good businessman, the owner of Shri Naman Group, Jayesh Shah, he is the person behind this. He has created this COVID healthcare center, and with started with 200 beds, more 150 will join tomorrow, that is 9th of July. And all the beds have been supplied by us, the BAPS charities, for use at that COVID center. And we are coming up with such 2,000 beds. And the first batch of 200 already supplied. The second batch of 150 will be supplied tomorrow. So we became an opportunity seeker for services during these times. This Swaminarayan Khichdi for 6 months was a novel idea. This supplying beds, and each bed is like 52 kgs. So it is an iron bed and real stuff. So see, become an opportunity seeker. This is how you will heal your mind. Because your mind needs 2 things when it comes to thought processes to heal. A professional thought where you can improve your professionalism and business to earn more money. Simple. And a selfless thought where you can serve the society better. Both these thoughts can heal your mind. Both this type of thoughts, if you become an opportunity seeker, seeker, then reduce your stress from your mind. So become an opportunity seeker during these times, and you can come up with something wonderful, something extraordinary that can become a turning point in your business. Like the gentleman there in Rajkot, he decided, just asked himself that why can't we make N95 masks on a large scale and a mass scale here in India for for like a 40 days, 140 people, technicians and all of them, they came together, all his team in Rajkot, the city in Gujarat, right from the start of the first day of lockdown, inside his factory, and designed the whole machinery. Just about 1.5 months back, he came up with a full assembly line that they could produce 25,000 masks every day. He's going to set up the second assembly line, the third assembly line, and also sell his technique. A person, Paramjit Singh in Rajkot, he came up with making about 100 ventilators. He could help the government to make, and he could make 100 ventilators every month. So what I mean to say is, like, if you can become an opportunity seeker in both the ways, professionally and in social science, during such times, you can heal your mind of many other unwanted thoughts propping up, unwanted emotions jumping up that could disturb your mind, and you could do it. So with the blessings and the guidance of our Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj, we came up with this novel things during coronavirus, well appreciated by the society, well appreciated by the government, the state governments and the national government. And so by being opportunity seeker, you can heal your mind there. And another good aspect of healing your mind is that this COVID-19 has given us a wonderful opportunity to become more spiritual. This is the fifth and the last aspect that I would like to put forward. The more you are spiritual, the less healing you will need of your mind, because it will not get disturbed. Better spirituality, bettering your spirituality day by day, you will be in a position to heal people's mind by your words, by your talking, by your expressions. People just in your company could feel the healing, could feel comfort, could feel relief in their stress. That is the power of spirituality. If you become a truly spiritual person, just by your presence, you can create a spiritual aura. That we found in the persona of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, that we find in the persona of our Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj today. You would be surprised to know that lakhs of people strongly addicted to tobacco or wine or even drugs, just being in the mere physical presence of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, or just hearing a few words from Pramukh Swami Maharaj's mouth while he addressing an assembly, and that person sitting in the assembly feet and meters away. Just by having one close darshan of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, their minds got so much healed. They got so much stress relief that they got the energy to leave aside their addictions. I'll give you one simple example, a real life example that happened in the year 1999 in Bangalore. And I'm the first-hand proof, first-hand, I noticed that from very close. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was gracing an assembly, about 500 people were sitting, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj was talking in simple Hindi. At that time, a leading doctor, I would not name him because even today he's a very big name in Bangalore, in a big government hospital. He had decided to commit suicide because of internal politics at his hospital. One of his very good friends, he was even a doctor, they were childhood friends. He was a devotee of Bhagwan Swami Narayan and a disciple of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and a member of the BAPS Swami Narayan Sanstha. His name I could reveal, Dr. Akhilesh. Dr. Akhilesh had called up his friend doctor in the morning to come in the evening. At that time, his friend doctor already had decided to commit suicide and brought a bottle of poison at his place. And he had decided that tonight, when I go to sleep, I will drink and go to sleep and never wake up. He never wanted to go out on that day because he was so much into a state of depression. But when Dr. Akhilesh called him up, he said, okay, to oblige a friend and to fulfill his wish, I will visit his event in the evening. When he came, just entered the assembly hall, Pramukh Swami Maharaj was addressing. It was the last part of the function. When he saw Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he got in a position of standstill. He could not put his foot forward, and he was awestruck by the spirituality in the eyes, on the face, and in the words of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Dr. Akhilesh could comfort him in a seat. And after the assembly, when everybody were coming forward for personal blessings of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Dr. Akhilesh introduced him that Swami, he's my good friend. Dr. Akhilesh didn't knew that he had already decided to commit suicide, and tonight was the happening. His friend doctor, he bowed down to Pramukh Swami, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj touched him, blessed him on his head. And his friend doctor, he was later on, after reaching back home, calling back Dr. Akhilesh and saying him that the spiritual aura that I could experience in the presence of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, all my thoughts of committing suicide evaporated. Today I'm like feeling so much fresh, back to my activity. I'm ready to accept the happenings in my life. I would take it that maybe because of my past karmas, something wrong is happening to me at my workplace, and I'm becoming a victim of some politics at my workplace. But I've decided to fight it out. Of course, with all gentleness, all humbleness, all positive ethics. But I'm going to stay. I'm going to live my life. I don't want to give up. Such energy just in the physical presence, such a great spiritual personality. And today, I'm happy to tell you, I know that doctor still today, personally, because Dr. Akhilesh got us connected after the session, just casually introduced us after the session, one-on-one, and we had a good 10-minute chat after that. And even today, we are in good communication with each other. Whenever I happen to visit Bangalore for my talks, 3 or 4 times in a year, we definitely connect on phone or make it a habit of at least meeting once in a year when I'm there. Today, he's a wonderful doctor with a couple of promotions, his family life fine, enjoying a wonderful life. His both sons grown up. They are also wonderful professionals. So see, spirituality plays a powerful role in your life. So I would end my talk today by giving you a wonderful message. If you take it as a preaching, take it that way. If you take it as a guidance from a friend, because we are all friends, caring and sharing for each other in our journey of life, take it that way. That make a small habit of chanting the holy name of God, in whichever form of God that you believe in, or at least 10 minutes in the morning before you start your day's activities, and 10 minutes before you retire, that is before you go to bed in the evening. 10 minutes of chanting the holy name of God, like closing your eyes and meditating upon the form of God, whichever murti of God that you believe in. I would tell you, this is all scientific. This is all experimental and clinically proven. I have hundreds of research papers presented by men of science in national and international conferences to prove that some way your connection with God helps you to become more spiritual, become a better human being, become more humble, become more connecting with people, getting inspired for selfless services. All this has its source in connection with God. At the University of Cleveland, Dr. Temple Chuta, he's a leading neuroscientist, and he has conducted various experiments and clinical experiments on subjects. And he has finally come to a conclusion that chanting the holy name of God, you have a neuro-linguistic effect on your brain. And if you chant the holy name of God by understanding the meaning of that mantra, you have a psycho-neuro-linguistic effect that he calls PLE on your neurosystem, which has the power to obstruct negative thoughts cropping up because of happenings around you, happenings to you, which has the power to halt negative emotions like depression, stress, and even thoughts of suicide. See, he has proved it clinically in experiment. I'm giving you the name of the university, University of Cleveland. I'm giving you the name of the doctor, Dr. Temple Tutor. You can go on their websites. You can go on Google and find out what I'm telling you today. He then said that chanting the holy name, you have this NLE and PL effect, the neuro-linguistic effect and the psycho-neuro-linguistic effect on you, by which you come by gradual time pass, that is passing of time gradually over a period of years. That if you chant the holy name for 7, 8, 10, 15 years, you build up that strength within by which you can have control on your blood pressures, especially high blood pressure, as he says. You can have control on your heart rate beating. You can have control on the release of adrenaline in your blood system. You can strengthen your immunity system by chanting the holy name. He proves this by experiments over his subjects over a period of 5, 7, 8, 10 years of all age groups. So now this is all being scientifically proved. I have such 100 proofs with it, that prayers, chanting the holy name, visiting religious places, coming in contact or exchanges or finding time to sit with spiritually elevated people can heal your mind, can better your persona, can improve your character, can strengthen your positive emotions, can make you a prosperity thinker, and make your life wonderful. So spirituality heals your mind during such times of pandemics or such times of personal griefs or such times of individual failures or setbacks in lives. So these are certain aspects where you can heal your mind. And this is a small sharing with you today. Hope the best for you. My innermost prayers for all of you Rotarians and your families, your friends and relatives, that not only they stay home and stay safe, but stay positive and stay spiritual, so that they can heal their mind better, so that they become a persona to heal other people's minds coming in their contacts or comforts. And you have lived your life beautiful. So again, my prayers at the feet of Bhagavan Swami Narayan, my Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj and my Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj, for all your well-being, for wonderful inspirations in your life. And thank you very much for patiently listening to me for a period of like 45 minutes. That was the time given to me. Thank you very much, and prayers for you.
Thank you, Swamiji. Jai Swaminarayan. You enlightened us with an enriching talk, a very need of an hour today. As you said rightly, we have to be our own guiding light, facing extraordinary challenges during this time to reduce the stress in our mind. Your examples of making Bharat Atmanirbhar will definitely help us in a long way. Your example of a doctor to strengthen our mental status and way to spirituality is worth in today's time. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan. I would request Dr. Tushar Shah if there are any questions for Swamiji.
Jai Swami, please, if you have any questions, put it on the Zoom question, Zoom chat, and I would put forward this question to Puja Swamiji.
Okay.
Jai Swaminarayan, Swamiji, before any questions come up, I would like to express our gratitude, and we are really, really privileged to have you today with us and guide us and make us feel how to face and how to be positive in life. I was fortunate to have the blessings of Pujya Guru Yogiji Maharaj and also Pujya Swami Pramukh Swamiji had his dhaba on my back too, which has been I really cherish, something which has been very great in my life too. I am just looking forward to people asking questions. If they have any, please type it out or you may, if you are not in a position to do that, you can send it on my WhatsApp. The number was given to you, and I can read it from there in case you send it on that. So please feel free. I'm waiting for your questions.
Hello, am I audible, Manish?
Yeah, yes,
Yes, yes.
Yeah, fine. So fine. Is everybody, anybody has any question, you can definitely pose up. In the meantime, I would remember my good friend from Coimbatore, Hemant Shah. He's
Yeah,
a
he has.
Rotarian and he has joined in. And they are doing a wonderful project for burns, that if a person suffers burns, and they're doing a wonderful project, and they have got a good grant from the center. I think someday on some other session, you can rope him in for 5-10 minutes so that he can explain his good project to you.
Okay, we have a couple of questions. What is the type of, before I could read, it just goes off. What is the type? What is the type on, what is the type of meditation to do?
Well, the type of meditation as prescribed in the scriptures is the best form of meditation is to meditate upon the form of God. Like you have seen the idols of Bhagwan Ram or Bhagwan Krishna or Bhagwan Swami Gnanvatsalji at the temples. You have a darshan of them. And if you can meditate upon that idol, that is the best form of meditation as prescribed in the scriptures of all the forms of meditation. This is the best one. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is, we say today it is necessary to focus on IQ and EQ development, but also now it is SQ development, that is spiritual quotient. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, only IQ was the times of 80s and 90s, and thereafter the EQs developed in the late 90s and early decade of the millennium. But now everybody since last about a decade and a half has come to a conclusion, the top management gurus, the top social relationship gurus, the top scientists, and even the healthcare gurus, they've come up with a conclusion that spiritual quotient is the one which has the capacity to imbibe IQ and EQ both in its stride. And a person more spiritual can be better as a manager, can be better as a human being, can be better as a friend in all ways of life. You'll be surprised to know that more and more MNCs, multinational corporations, are seeking the quality of EQ, that is maintaining relationship qualities, and humility, apart from their academic qualifications or their work experience. So SQ plays a big role in life, spiritual quotient.
President, there are a lot of questions. You tell me when to stop, because there are a lot of questions which are coming in. You need to tell the time. I hope Swami don't mind.
We have answered. I have answered 2 questions. I can still answer 2 more. So we stop at 4.
Okay. Question is, why adults cannot be like children?
Well, adults have to be like adults. Why they need to be children? Let children be children. Let children remain children. Adults have to be adults because it is they are now to shoulder the responsibility of the family. They are now to shoulder the responsibility of the society. But I can understand the question, the inner part of the question, the emotions behind this question, that why can adults cannot be children? That is, why can't they be innocent? Why can't they be without any calculations in their mind, connect with people? Because children connect with each other without any calculations in their mind. And we connect as adults with each other with many calculations in our minds, that what advantage this relationship can give me, or how far can I reach by doing this, that. Children, they do their acts out of sheer joy. The second aspect of adults being children. We can do our acts out of sheer joy, and then we can become like children. Not always act out of professionalism, not always act out of favoritism, not always act out of seeking personal gains, materialistic gains. Sometimes just act out of selflessness and act out of joy. When you start acting out of joy, doing something that just gives you joy, nothing else except joy, you are a child. When you connect with somebody out of no calculations in your mind, just a connection, just a joy of relationship, you are a child. So adults can become children when he decides to do these two things. Connect without calculations and act just out of joy. Thank you.
How is mantra chanting to be done?
Well, mantra chanting has to be done like the mantras that is prescribed in the scriptures. For example, if you are a devotee of Bhagavan Ram, if you are a devotee of Bhagavan Krishna, if you are a devotee of Bhagavan Swami Gnanvatsalji, you can, for example, if you are a devotee of Bhagavan Swami Gnanvatsalji, as we do, you just chant the holy name Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, by just sitting in a good left folded, that is legs folded posture on a mattress on the floor, and then straight and erect posture, your eyes closed, and you concentrating upon the idol of Bhagavan Swami Gnanvatsalji and chanting Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami Gnanvatsalji, Swami. If you are a follower of Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. As I said, let me put forward, which will perhaps astonish you. So, like more than 500 research papers by men of science, by doctors and scientists, have been put forward that how these mantras have got an effect, physical, mental, and emotional, even on your neurosystems, even on your heart rates and blood pressures, as I described the one of the University of Cleveland. So it has an advantage, but don't look out for it just on the second day of chanting the mantra. Okay, it takes time.
Okay.
Even the food that you eat, Dr. Manoj Patel is right away here, and maybe other doctors, Rotarians, fellow, yeah. I put a morsel, a spoonful of chapati and a vegetable in my mouth. For that to get converted into a small drop of blood, it takes days, isn't it?
Yes.
Dr. Manoj?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
sir.
takes days. So if a morsel of blood, if a morsel of food takes days to convert into blood, to give you energy, chanting the holy mantra will take time, will take months and years. But do it faithfully, do it in a disciplined way, that is regularly, and do it with all faith, even if you don't see initial gains of it. But keep doing it, you will gain it. Thank you.
Last question, Swamiji, is
Yes.
any celestial prediction on when Corona will end?
No celestial prediction. No celestial prediction. It has come by its way. It will go by its way. By these words, I mean that none of the pandemics have remained lifelong upon this earth. This has, as we had the Spanish flu 100 years back. It was there for about 1.5 to 2 years. It evaporated somewhere. Coronavirus has come. It will, in other words, reduce its impact to almost zero level in the times to come. But now the medicos do say that as we live with cholera or typhoid or malaria, we will have to learn to live with coronavirus. And we don't mind once we have the vaccine for it, once we have the antidote or the medicine for it. And many researchers are going, as we know that the government of India has permitted Bharat Biotech of Pune probably and Zydus Cadila of Ahmedabad here in Gujarat, the two companies, they have got the permissions for human trials, and they're all in their advanced stages. And many other formulations in different parts of the world. So definitely in the coming weeks, in the coming months, we'll come up with a vaccine that could protect us against this coronavirus. So, we will have to live with it, learn to live with it. But once a vaccine, once an antidote and medicine, we'll be quite safe. So no celestial predictions. Time and again, this has come to inflict damages and hurts to all the existences upon this earth, not just humans, all the other living existences. And still we don't know if coronavirus has affected germs and bacteria and other viruses, or even some small existences, small animals or birds. But then, well, nature has its own force to heal. And the 5 best medicines, as we say, the clean air and sunlight and exercises and a lot of water, these are all natural medicines that can help us a lot. And these medicines have the power to cure the existences of any pandemics that we have seen in the history. So, in short, no celestial
Predictions.
Ghoshana for it, like no celestial predictions for it. But then time will heal. Time is the big healer.